Hello, and welcome back to Rap Cinema. Today we will be looking at an apocalyptic movie, where zombies take over the earth, and are extremely aggressive and scary AF. Let's gear up and take on the horde. Enjoy, spoilers ahead. The movie begins with parents Jerry and Karen, being woken up by their daughters, Rachel and Constance. They are prepping for going on a trip, and hear on the TV about martial law being declared, implying that something strange is going on around the world. They leave in their car, but end up stuck in busy traffic in the city. A few moments later a motorcyclist passes by their car, taking off their side mirror. Jerry gets out of the car to investigate, when an explosion goes off down the street in front of him. An officer drives by, telling him to get back in his car, when suddenly, he is RKO'd out of nowhere by a big truck. Jerry, taking the initiative, gets his car in gear and begins to follow the truck, clearing a path. The kids distract Jerry, him trying to get them to put their belts on, and crashes as a result of not watching the road. Fucking liabilities. They get out of the car, with people screaming and running in all directions. We are shown a bird's eye clip of mysterious people running full pace. Jerry watches a man get attacked by a zombie, not knowing what it was at the time. He watches as the guy who got attacked gets up, and seems to be infected as well, attacking the others around him. They get into an abandoned RV and start to drive, clearing the cars in their path, as they are attacked by vicious zombies. The city has been overrun and the army's attempt to contain the virus failed. While driving, their daughter, Rachel, who is gasping for air, needs her inhaler, but they left it in their car. Jerry tries to get her to calm down, when his other daughter Constance finds a sniper to quick scope all the zombies like a pro. Jerry gets a phone call from an old colleague, Thierry, who used to work with him in the United Nations. Jerry was an important man with the job he did, and Thierry sends a rescue helicopter to get them, since he needs his expertise. While waiting, Jerry and his family go to get supplies from a supermarket, which is overrun with looters and chaos. He goes to get the medication for his daughter, but is confronted by a kid with a gun, but when he sees he needs help, he gives him the medication. His other daughter starts screaming, because her mother Karen is in danger. He sees two guys trying to attack her and no-scopes one of them. They gather all the supplies and go to leave, but the RV has been taken. They see apartment buildings and head towards them so that they can get picked up by the helicopter, but they will have to wait until morning for that. They get inside the building and are closely followed behind by zombies, but they manage to jam the door, giving them some spare time. They light flares and head upstairs, encountering a family in one of the apartments, who let them in for a slumber party. Jerry listens to the radio, where they recommend staying indoors. They all go for a nap and Jerry wakes up after having a nightmare to hear banging in the building. While getting ready, Jerry urges the family to go with them on the helicopter, but they refuse. Jerry leaves with his family, quietly trying to get to the rooftop. The lights are flickering and there is screeching and echoes in the hallways. When Jerry and his family leave, there is banging heard by the other family at their door. Jerry is attacked through the doorway, and shoots the zombie, alerting the entire building. An intense chase scene starts as they rush to the roof, with zombies chasing close behind. The helicopter is on its way. They get to the roof, but Jerry is left behind with a zombie on top of him. The kid from earlier comes and shoots the zombie, saving Jerry's life. They rush to the rooftop and Jerry rushes to the edge of the building, waiting to throw himself off, as he got some blood in his mouth. He waits and realizes he's not infected, so they all get on the helicopter and fly away. They travel to a military boat in the middle of the sea, away from all the scary zombies. Jerry meets up with Thierry and sorts out his family with some beds. They observe video footage from around the world of great destruction. He is asked to help, to go in with a team to investigate the disease. He declines because he doesn't want to leave his family. The other guy says if he doesn't help, that he will throw him and his family off the boat. Jerry gives Karen a special phone that she can keep in contact with him with. He says goodbye to his kids and Javier, and skedaddles. We are introduced to Dr. Fastbach, a stereotypical, posh English guy, who went to Harvard and is supposed to be the world's last chance. The squad are close to their destination, South Korea, where an email came from, reporting cases of the undead. They open the aircraft door, and are jump scared by a few zombies. Dr. Fastbach, shitting his pants, turns to run, but unfortunately slips and falls, shooting himself in the face. So much for being the last hope. The rest of the group fight inside to meet up with another group. The soldier explains the origin of the email and what happened. He talks about a doctor, examining a patient on the bed. He got bitten and turned, and started infecting everyone. But the soldiers killed them and burned all the bodies. They all explain how this soldier was stood in the middle of all the zombies, and they all ignored him, but they just put it down to luck. Jerry hears a guy screaming from a jail cell, who was imprisoned after he was caught selling guns to North Korea. He claims to have worked for the CIA previously, until he was caught. He mentions how that North Korea was completely unaffected by the virus, as the government removed the teeth of the entire 23 million population, stopping the spread from bites. He also tells Jerry that Israel are doing good, and ended up building a wall around the city before the virus got too bad. Jerry gears up and tells the pilot they're going to Jerusalem, to talk to the guy who ordered to build the wall, to see if he has any useful information. Karen gets a phone call from Jerry, but the connection is awful, and it disconnects. The squad need to fuel the plane so they can leave, and also quietly. They take a nice stroll on their bicycles, with lookouts for defense. Karen decides to try and phone Jerry again, making a loud noise and alerting all the zombies. They rush towards the plane as they are chased closely behind. The captain drives the fuel truck and connects it to the plane. Jerry is taken out, and the captain turns to help him, but he is bitten in the leg. He goes out honorably and scrambles his brain off screen. Jerry enters the cockpit, and the zombies fill up the hangar. They start to take off, and the zombies go roly-poly, off the plane. Jerry phones Karen, but fails to mention how she nearly killed him and his entire squad. Thanks for that. He informs her that they're traveling to Jerusalem to see what the gossip is. An explosion goes off, cutting off their connection. They land at the airport and Jerry takes a ride into the city, while the pilot waits for him to come back. Jerry goes to meet the guy he was told about, Jürgen Warmbrunn. He tells Jerry that they received a communication from India, saying that they were fighting the undead. Jerry asks him why he would go ahead and build a wall, just because of what someone said. That seems to be ridiculous. They take a drive, and Jürgen explains a long-winded way of just saying he decided to take a chance, because things have happened in the past that people thought to be impossible. Jerry continues to dig and try to get answers, but Jürgen doesn't seem to have any answers for him. We are shown helicopters doing perimeter checks of the walls, showing hundreds of thousands of zombies. They start playing music on speakers and begin to celebrate within the walls. The zombies get agitated by this, and start piling up on the wall, creating a sort of ladder, climbing on top of each other. Yeah, no thanks. We would literally be shitting our pants. So much for their walls. They continue to fall over the wall, infecting more and more people on the inside. The helicopters try to take down the zombies, but it has little to no effect. Jerry notices a lot of zombies running around an old man, ignoring him. They continue to run down a gated alley, when a soldier is grabbed from above. He sets off a grenade, creating a hole and letting the zombies in. They continue to run as zombies swarm the alleys. We would literally die on the spot. Jerry notices again a boy in the distance, as the zombies run straight past him. They get trapped in a room and close a gate behind them. Grenades are thrown to kill the zombies, which gives them a couple minutes to spare. Out of nowhere, a zombie pranks them, and bites a soldier in the arm. Jerry takes initiative and karate chops her arm off with a machete. He patches her up, and she doesn't turn. They run for evacuation, but the helicopter in front of them is taken down. They continue to run as the streets are ransacked and taken over by zombies. The pilot ditches Jerry and saves his own ass. They spot an airline, and run towards it to board it. They get on, and get seated on the frantic plane. Upon looking out the window, they can see a stampede of zombies running towards the plane. This stuff is honestly out of nightmares. They take off and can finally relax and catch their breaths. Jerry looks down at the destruction below him, with no survivors left on the ground. He then gets a first aid kit to clean the soldier's stump. We are now introduced to her properly, going by the name of Segan. Jerry proceeds to clean and patch her up, giving her some alcohol for being so brave. Jerry starts to think, and puts the pieces of the puzzle together that he has observed. He thinks about all the people who were passed, and realizes that it's probably because the people have some sort of disability, like a terminal illness or injury, so that zombies don't want to go near them. Jerry phones Thierry, telling him he needs the closest WHO facility. He gives the phone to the pilot so that they can direct him to the nearest airport they can land at. Meanwhile, the air hostess goes to store some things away, and opens the bathroom door to get a big sloppy wet kiss from a zombie. Jerry hears some commotion from the back of the plane and goes to investigate. He finds zombies in the back of the plane, attacking everyone and infecting them. How unlucky can they get? The passengers start to block the hall, but one of the guys drops a bag on the other side, revealing their location, and screwing them all over. The zombies push forward, attacking and infecting everyone. Jerry beats up a zombie with a school bag. LOL. In a final attempt, Jerry grabs a grenade from Segan's waist, and throws it to the middle of the plane. It blows a huge hole, and all the zombies get the suck, and go flying out of the plane. As it starts to go down they buckle in, even though I don't think that will help very much. They land in some woodlands and crash to the ground. Jerry ends up impaled with a bit of metal debris and lies on the ground in the destruction around him. Sagan finds him alive, and they take a stroll together through a neighborhood, although unfortunately, they have no time to stop for tea and biscuits. They make their way to the WHO facility and buzz to be let in. We cut back to the military boat, where they are informed that they lost contact with Jerry's plane, so they think he's dead. Now that they think he's dead, Thierry is ordered to kick Karen and the kids off the military boat. Jerry wakes up, zoning in and out of consciousness. He wakes fully and notices a man staring at him from the corner. Jerry is strapped to a bed and can't move, but he is patched up. The man asks him who he is, with another man standing in the corner of the room. The men are suspicious of Jerry when they find his phone on him. They phone the number and Thierry picks up, shocked that he's alive. He tells them who he is, but Jerry is curious as to why his wife didn't pick up the phone. As he says there's nothing else he could have done. Jerry meets the group of scientists, and tells bored with the idea, until the issue is revealed that the location where all the viruses are kept, is full of zombies. They gear up and make a plan to get in and out quietly without alerting the zombies. They remove the barricades from the doorway separating the two buildings. They make their way through the kitchen, but can't stop for a bite to eat on the job. They continue forward, but it's quiet, and the only thing is blood and broken glass, which they must navigate around carefully. They come across a room with zombies, which they must navigate and sneak past, but one of the zombies keeps pranking them and turning around, like he's playing peekaboo. The three of them arrive at a door, but when they open it, it makes a loud squeak, causing some zombies to twitch. That was a close one. Jerry finds a sad zombie, banging her head on the wall. Sagan and the doctor sneak past her, but the doctor bangs his axe on a metal drawer, alerting the entire building. They run, but Jerry separates, because he wants to continue with the mission and acquire the viruses. He kills a zombie with a crowbar, but it gets stuck while another zombie rushes towards him. He gets it out on time and hits a glorious swing to the zombie's head. Sagan and the doctor rush back to the others, and kill a few zombies in their way. The others remove the barricade, and let them in, with a group of zombies following closely behind. Jerry finds the lab containing the viruses, but is met with a locked door that he needs a code for. A call comes in from the phone on the wall, and the girl tells him the code to get in. He leaves his crowbar behind and enters. He fills a container with all the lovely diseases that he can. When he turns around, he is met with a friend waiting to eat him on the outside. He injects himself with one of the diseases, and waits in the cold room for the infection to kick in. After some time of waiting, he gets up and takes the container and stands before the door in front of him. He opens and the zombie stands in front, but walks past and completely ignores him. To celebrate, he takes a nice long sip of Pepsi Cola. Ah, refreshing. He hits the release button and all the Pepsi cans drop, causing a lot of noise. The zombies run towards him down the hallway, moving around him, as he triumphantly walks towards the doorway. He is treated for the disease, and he leaves with Sagan, having fulfilled his duties, and saving the world. He is taken to the refugee camp his family was left at, and he reunites with his family, and little Thomas. A series of clips are shown, showing the vaccine being created, and the army defeating the zombies. The movie ends, showing clips of victories and rebuilding of the modern world. Eradicating all the zombies. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to turn on notifications to get the best rap cinema updates.